And so the church will do this again after this crisis.
I want to set up for our final segment of our interview to talk about your book, but I have two questions that I wanted to ask you to address, and that is the question of scandal. First of all, when you think about how much talk there has been during this synod about blessing gay unions, whether they're going to do it, whether they're not going to do it, it seems to have gotten lost in the shuffle what the Pope is not saying, and that is the scandal of people in a homosexual relationship living together, because the Catholic Church keeps saying it's not going to be marriage, so they can't be married, and yet they're living together in sin, at the very least. Scandal is there. But I wanted to ask you, I mean, doesn't that send a message throughout the entire world to all the heterosexual, especially young people, that if the Pope himself is deliberating over whether or not to bless gay unions, he must have no problem with cohabitation heterosexually, because homosexuality is so much worse, a sin that cries to heaven to vengeance. What kind of a message and scandal does that send out to the entire world, heterosexually as well, especially to young people?
Yes, I am agreeing with your statement, and this is the case, unfortunately, that even already a homosexual couple itself is giving a message that to promote basically homosexuality. And we have to homosexual activity, which is against nature, against reason, against the will of God, basically. And what is against the will of God and against nature is harming profoundly this person. So they are really, their life never, they are harming one another. And the fact to join already, because they are attracted by homoerotics. And this is against nature, this is troubling the nature. And so they are increasing this disorder by joining. And to say, and to give a blessing, it's to say that, okay, it's okay that you are promoting by your lifestyle this agenda of homosexuality, which is really against humanity, against nature. And therefore this is a grave irresponsibility of the hierarchy to even remotely promote this lifestyle and this now already totalitarian, planetarian, I would say, ideology. And then this also harmful and cruel against these two persons, because you will, by blessing, encourage them to continue to sin. And this, in this way, it is de facto as a blessing for sin, and for a very grievous sin, which, as you said, is crying to heaven for vengeance. And this is really, I repeat, harming these two people, these two persons. We have to help them to separate first. That's first, to be a Christian, you cannot promote and make propaganda. This is a propaganda. And we will help you, of course, with love and discretion, but not as a couple. You can receive a blessing as any Catholic go to the church and receives in the Mass a blessing, or a priest. And so we have to distinguish these. There's much confusion, and therefore the church, on the contrary, must give a message, a synod, to disencourage and these couples to live together, and say, we ask you, when you want to be a good Catholic, that you must separate. The same as you mentioned for normal couples of different sexes. When, for example, a man and a woman live together in concubinage, let us say, in sin, or they came and said, please give us a blessing because we are living together, but you are not husband and wife.
Right.
It's the same. You cannot give a blessing for them. So you encourage or adultery or fornication in this case. And the same, it's encouraging fornication against nature in the case of same-sex couples.
So do you accept this distinction that the Holy Father continues to make we are not talking about marriage. We believe marriage is between one man and one woman, but we may bless gay unions. That seems like almost in this case, morally speaking, a distinction without a difference, because we're still talking about living together in sin. So I don't know, is that a ruse of some sort when they make this? We're not talking about marriage. We don't believe in gay marriage. Is that just to sort of fool us a little bit?
This is a deception. This is a cunning method, because we are not little children. We know that this is living together to exercise their homosexuality. Otherwise they would not join. They are joined because of homosexual attraction. As I repeat, the same as let us say, a man and a woman who are not married, who are not husband and wife, will come and ask a blessing. Say, oh, we are not a marriage. Give us simply a blessing for our cohabitation. It would be the same.
Yeah.
So encouraging them to sin and to invoke the God's blessing, this is blasphemy. To invoke God's blessing to a situation of sin, it is, I consider, a blasphemy, sacrilege.